Hey all, welcome to the new Google Classroom. I'm here to show you a couple things that we'll be working on together here, but first of all I just wanted to say how excited I am to get to share things with you and hopefully get to hear from you as well in the coming days. So let's talk about what this is going to look like. We're going to work on keeping a similar schedule to what we've had in class just because it'll feel familiar, but obviously with some online adaptations. So the first thing that we're going to do to start most days is our check-in. This is going to be a quiz on quizzes. This is going to function basically the same as what you're used to. It'll be 3 to 5 questions. There'll be a join code every day, and you just need to do it by midnight. The only thing that's going to look different is you're not going to be picking a username because it's going to be tied to your Google Classroom account. Another important thing is this whole idea by midnight. This is also the way that we are going to be tracking your attendance. I'm sure some of your teachers have talked to you about this, but it's really important that you're checking in every day so that we know who's being able to get work done, who's not, and we can track this through, in this class, we're going to track it through your daily check-in, and those points will go into classwork like before. All right, next, after the check-in, just like usual, we're going to move into a homework questions part of your day, and there will be a form on each day's assignment where you'll be able to nominate and vote for homework questions. And that Google form, as I said, is going to be attached to the assignments of that day. So if you have questions, for example, on 11.1, go to that assignment and then find the homework question form. And you'll be able to go through, click any boxes that you would need for that. I will then go through and I will see the ones that have a lot of votes, and I'll post a video like this in that assignment. If you really want some face-to-face time and ask questions like that, I will have office hours. I don't have those scheduled yet, but I'll talk about how to get that settled in just a moment. So, check-in, then homework questions. The next thing you're going to do is your notes. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can do your notes. If you go on your Google Classroom, you will have both the blank and filled in notes, just like we would normally see on Infinite Campus, and you're also going to see a video like this. Now, for some of you, and for some different topics, you're just going to be able to get through everything by looking at the blank notes, seeing what I've written, following the steps that I've laid out there. And for some of you, that'll be great. Those will be PDFs, so they'll be really easy to access on any device. For some of you, and for a lot of the more, if there's a more confusing lesson, there'll be a video like this going through those guided notes. And so I'm going to recommend for a lot of you to be using that video, and you'll see that linked into the assignment along with everything else. What I'm going to recommend that you do is still use the blank guided notes to either print if you have the capacity, or at least create a little guided notes sheet so you can have that structure before you start the video. And I'll be sure to give you reminders on the first couple about that. With the video, it's really great because you can pause, you can rewind, all those sorts of things. But if you do have questions, please put them in the comments on the assignment. And that's also going to be where I'm looking during homework question video times when I go through and look and see if anyone got stuck anywhere in the notes. I'll be looking at that as well. So please do put your questions about the notes on the assignment that you see on Google Classroom. Timestamps are really helpful, so if you're looking at the video and it's going along and you notice, oh, at 4:39 I had a question, I got lost, include that timestamp. If you are noticing someone else's question and you know the answer to, absolutely feel free to jump in and be helping each other as best you can. But I will be checking that daily as well. Finally, just like normal, we're going to have our work time. Now, since I don't want any student to feel overwhelmed with the amount of things that were being asked of you as we transition to online classroom, what I'd love to have you do is just work for 20 minutes on these assignments. If you don't finish them completely, that's all right. Just check your answers in your textbook and work from there. Speaking of your textbook, if you don't have yours, please let me know either as a comment to this video or in the survey, which I'm going to talk about very soon. But if you don't have your textbook, we can work around that. And that's going to be really helpful. So the survey is today's daily attendance task. So we're not going to do a quizzes today. And what this is going to ask about is what sort of devices you might have at home, what sort of materials you might have, like your textbook or calculator, and what times are best for you to be able to ask me questions and get an immediate response. Time for questions. Most of your teachers are going to call this office hours, which is what I'm going to call it as well. And this will be the time that I'm online answering the questions that are in the comments, maybe making homework videos like this, and I'll also be available to speak with you one-on-one, answer any questions. Hopefully we'll have capacity to do some video chat if you're stuck and things like that. But I want to make sure that I'm having office hours when it's most convenient for the most number of students. So you'll have that option of saying, when would you like for me to be available? And you can pick a couple different options of what's going to fit best in your schedule. So fill that in as your daily attendance activity. And tomorrow I will post the results about that for the office hours of when I'm going to be available. And that'll also help me that if you have any issues with your materials, such as you don't have your textbook or you don't have a calculator at home, and I'll reach out to you individually for solutions for that. As I'm saying, I'm trying to keep this pretty similar to what you're used to so that you don't have to learn too many brand new things. You're still going to have an end of week quiz, and this is also going to be on quizzes, and it's going to be 15 questions covering what we've learned this week plus a little bit of review as usual. I will post the code on Friday, and you will again have until the end of the day, midnight on Friday or Thursday if it's one of these short weeks coming up, to finish that up. Because it's going to be really hard for me to offer corrections on these until we know a more perfect timeline of how long we're going to be out. I'm going to turn on the redemption questions for this, meaning that if you get a question wrong, you might have an opportunity to try it again. And so that'll hopefully at least give a little bit of a curve that corrections normally would. And once we know if and when we'll be back together again, we can make a plan regarding corrections and things like that. All right, a few quick last notes. You're going to have a list of different resources in the Essential Resources materials, which you might be able to see already in Google Classroom. And that's going to be both Nova resources for things like lunch programs and mental health, and things specific to this class, such as the old syllabus, an updated syllabus based on the distance learning plan, and a topic and homework calendar that will be edited as we go on. So please let me know if you have questions or if you are interested in a resource that maybe you don't see there. You can leave comments on this video and I will get to them as soon as I see them. I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of each and every one of you. I know this is not how any of us predicted our last quarter was going to begin. And you have impressed me so much with how well you're handling this so far. And just know that I'm thinking of you still, and I'm not exactly sure how to end this, so be safe, stay safe, and I hope that I get to see you again soon. Bye.